There's a thin line between heroism and madness.
Here the line fades to nothing at all. This is a world of capes and lunatics.
And nothing is off limits.
Hello and welcome to the Capes and Lunatics. Episode 29. Tonight we're talking Nazis, Infinity Wars, stories that make an Esser cry. We have it all. It's me, Phil, rocking the cough medicine, and with my two drunk friends. Let's see. First from New Jersey, and landed the landfill.
Charlie, the Professor Esser. No, the landfills are on Staten Island.
Ooh. Hey now.
No, it is. No, it's Fresh Kills in Staten Island. That's the landfill. That's where we put all that debris from the World Trade Center. It's very sad. Jersey
30 seconds in and we got a lesson.
Bring the vortex.
We compost in New Jersey. That's why we're the Garden State.
And my other friends trying to get some attention down in Florida.
Just me, guys. Look, and I'm not drunk. I'm tipsy. There's a difference. Thank you very much.
Too early. All right. So where should we begin? Should we begin with
Let's save the crisis for last. And let's get into this Infinity War trailer.
Okay.
Because if we don't get a Thanos copter, I'm rioting. I'm sorry. I didn't wait all this damn time not to get a Thanos copter. I'm just saying.
You think we're going to get a copter? They couldn't even give him a helmet.
Yeah. You know what? Here's what I'm
telling you. All the money from the helmet for the copter. Come on.
Look. Okay. Let's break this down. The last time we saw Thanos, he goes, he grabs his gauntlets and says, I'll do it myself. Now we see Thanos. He's tired. He's old. He's pale.
Because he did it himself.
Yeah, he loves himself. It's like, this is like hard work. There's a reason I had these guys trying to do this stuff. Man, I did not think getting Infinity Stones would be this hard. I thought surely Loki could do it. He's an Asgardian god. Nope. Incompetent. So I'll get one of those Kree judgers guys. They'll do it. Nope. Like, man, I am having such a hard day. And he looks it. He is like, I think when he punches Tony Stark in that moment, when he says, I don't really like to have joy and humor in the balance of the universe, but you know what? I'm so happy to punch one of you cocky humans in the face. Because for whatever reason, they're just giving you idiots Infinity Stones. And I'm like, I'm trying to destroy the universe here. Can't you just work with me?
Even hits kids. I mean, Spider-Man, come on.
Spider-Man deserves it, though. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, hey now.
Well, movie Spider-Man always deserves it. Comic book Spider-Man depends on what version. Looking at you, Ben Riley.
Not for nothing. He's calling himself Spider-Man, not Spider-Boy.
True.
So he's coming up there. He's coming up there to say, hey, I'm a Spider-Man. It's like, oh, well, I guess I'll treat you like one. Pow! Trinity Gauntlet to the jaw. Yeah.
But my favorite
cosplay is Thanos. Thanos is the real MVP of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Charlie needs to do cosplay. Purple Esser. Well, that's going in the calendar.
You know what? I'll say this: they have built up Thanos as such a 3-second scene at the end of all of these movies, and actually have them deliver on it. It's like, oh, we were really expecting to be horribly disappointed by this entire Thanos concept, but dang, if at least in the trailer you delivered. It's like, oh, goodness, okay. Now I kind of see why it was just 3 seconds of Thanos every other time.
Oh, so what, you're saying it's going to be good? It's not going to be DC?
I'm not saying it's going to be good. First off, there's no evidence that this is going to be a good movie yet.
Charlie's that you?
They're coming off of Inhumans right now. My judgment is on.
But that wasn't a movie, though.
It was supposed to be.
Well,
it was supposed to be a lot
they
of things.
backed off that. Hey, this isn't a Buck production, okay?
Here's what I'm going to say, is that you could have seen Thanos. Basically, what I'm telling you right now is Thanos is all over Infinity War. And that's impressive. That they're going to have the big bad be actually the villain. That basically they're making this the boss battle. That the movie is the boss battle. That everything has been leading up to this, and this is the boss battle. And that's pretty awesome, because I don't think when we get Darkseid, it's going to be a boss battle. I think Darkseid's going to be like
if we ever get him.
We're not going to get there.
Yeah,
we're going to retool before that. Trust me.
Yeah, but the base. Well, I kind of hope they don't.
They're going to kowtow.
I honestly, short-sightedness. Don't get me started.
That's why they cut so much out of Justice League, is because I guess they changed.
They wanted to change directions, and yep.
Well, you know what? Here's what I'm going to say. Because I think we mentioned this on. Did we mention this on Super Connectivity, or was this a pre-recording rant?
What?
When I said
probably both.
Why is Warner saying there's a time limit on this film when no other film is operating with that idea?
That was on Super Connectivity.
We did actually mention it, yeah. But on Super Connectivity, we mentioned that, Avengers runs longer than 2 hours. Thor ran longer than 2 hours, I think. Maybe not. Thor
is it the backlash from Batman v Superman or something? Or
I don't know what it is, but the point is that you don't. So let me give you an example from politics, which is my favorite. There was this idea that was proposed after. So there was this whole thing in the 80s with the EPA. The EPA comes out in the 70s, and the 80s, Reagan comes in and gets rid of the EPA, basically tries to destroy it. And then that really upsets the industry, which causes a backlash, which then leads to this really ridiculous idea that was put forth in Congress, which was that every year the EPA was supposed to produce more regulations. And the problem with that idea is once you say there's a number that we want you to hit, things fall apart. And to give you another political example, anytime you tell cops you have to hit a number, they start being bad cops. So every time a cop says you have to write this many tickets, and they'll always say, we're not told to do that, except they're all told to do that, just not on paper.
No.
Yeah. Oh, God.
No.
Don't get me started on cops. But that's the basic problem, is that when you set this thing where we're going to have an arbitrary number that's not based on what the actual in-the-moment field test is, it always ends poorly. Because if you let the field work itself out with guidelines, you're going to get to where you want to get to, maybe slower, but you're going to get to where you want to get to. And so when you go to them and say, this movie has to be under 2 hours, and you're not going to, basically, the person who says it has to be under 2 hours has to be the editor. The editor has to say, okay, I've looked at your footage, we can get this to a 2-hour film. We can tell this whole story in editing in 2 hours based on what we have. But if you just have some guy who's not going to edit it and says, hey, your number is 2 hours, and then say, okay, editor, make it happen, you're basically telling the editor, don't care what we have, just make it, I don't care if we only have red paint, make it blue. And you can't do that. You can't make a red painting with blue paint. It is physically impossible. And when you say, I want you to take all the footage we have of Justice League and make a coherent, breathable story in 2 hours.
I guarantee you they didn't say coherent. Trust me. That word they don't know.
Well, no. They did. That's the problem, is they didn't say that. They didn't, because then the editor could have said, look, we can't do that in 2 hours. I can do it in 2 hours, 15 minutes. I can make it happen. I can hit you just above 2 hours, where you might not even notice that it's 2 hours. And maybe we cut some of the after credit scenes, which is Marvel's bag anyway. You know, why do we have to do that when that's Marvel's bag? You know, maybe we should actually tell our story in the film. Crazy thought. You know, if you want to have an Easter egg at the end, then just do like, you know, a 2-second Easter egg of a flash of an image at the end, you know, like freaking the ring that gets discovered by Alan Scott.
Oh yes.
You know,
Let it go.
Alan Scott's coming, man. He's the only.
He's the worst screamer. He's my least favorite. I'd rather have.
Doesn't matter that he's anyone's least favorite. He's still the only one not tainted by the shame.
Well, they made him. Well, I'll keep that one to myself about Alan Scott. But yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying about how they could go with it. But let's talk about this Infinity War trailer. I'm actually kind of excited about a Marvel movie for the first time in a really long time. So,
ooh.
That's saying something. The Russo brothers.
I don't have to care. I don't care about. Oh my God, this is gonna sound so terrible, but I really don't care about their Captain Marvel. I don't care about anything that comes after this. So this is like an end of an era. Don't ever ask me to go to another Marvel movie, boyfriend, kind of thing. So I'm really excited.
But Captain Marvel could be good, and she may be in this.
Oh. Well, if she's in it and she's okay, maybe. But I don't plan on, like, just like with after Aquaman, I don't plan on going to see any more DC movies.
Just do it.
So I'm just kind of cutting my ties, cutting and running.
Oh my God, but my favorite line from that trailer, someone get this man a shield.
Yeah, yes. Everyone likes that. Which, as we pointed out, means that there are now 2 shields.
He's rocking out
which
shield.
Means that original shield that can be in John Walker's hands, and we're going to get our U.S. agent.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da. I give U.S. agent the.
I was going to say might be just a little bit before my time, but I think that's 18.
Yeah, that's 18. Ooh, although you know what they could do? They could completely skip John Walker, give it straight to Battlestar.
Mm-hmm.
And have a big African-American Marine who doesn't care what you think he's supposed to be. He's freaking Captain America now.
I told you, but they keep hitting around that some of those original guys might not make it out of Infinity War. So 2 shields. What if Steve Rogers gets killed and we get 2 new Captain America?
Bucky, I think Bucky.
They're never giving it to Bucky.
Never.
Bucky and Sam.
No, because you know why? Because Bucky doesn't want to be Captain America. Bucky
didn't in the comics either, but he did it.
I was gonna say.
What if Steve asks him with his last dying breath and says, "You have to do this"?
I think he'd ask Sam.
What if he asks them both to do it?
Checks and balances.
Yeah, that's a possibility. But
the two of you can maybe live up to my ideal.
Yeah. Well, you know, because here's the whole thing. Cap never asked Bucky to be Cap. He just asked Tony Stark to make sure that Bucky was okay.
Oh, no. Mm-hmm.
You know, and Tony Stark, I guess you should have the shield as he's wandering.
Well, I think Bucky was even like, it's going to happen anyway. Might as well be me who's someone who's going to try to honor Steve Rogers' legacy instead of some.
Yeah, and meanwhile,
another John Walker.
Sam is sitting there like, I think I kind of thought I was next in line. I was the co-star of the Cap and Falcon book. Never a sidekick, unlike you, Bucky, who was always a sidekick.
Well, as a black man, he's always relegated to sidekick in movies for the most part. Just saying.
I know. But
on your left. That's all I have to say is on your left.
I would rather see. Well, you know, that's because he does what Cap does, only slower. Because he is slower. He doesn't have super soldier. He isn't hopped up on steroids. You know, I want Wakanda to give him freaking vibranium wings, though. So he's got that that solid sound wing thing.
Well, he kind of insulted him when he said, "What are you into cats?" So I wouldn't hold my breath about it.
Oh, but birds and cats, they're natural friends.
Even predators, enemies, sworn to battle to the death.
I don't know. Sylvester and Tweety seemed to get along well when they weren't trying to eat each other. The Sylvester and Tweety mysteries, they team up all the time. Them and Spike. Because sometimes when there's a job to be done, we all work together.
Bazinga.
Touche. So, are you guys like? I feel like, are you excited for what comes next after Infinity Wars? Or are you just like in the moment, Infinity Wars or bust?
I'm in the moment, but I'm curious what they're going to do after. I mean, I'm sure just the way they keep talking, I think we're going to have a different Avengers team after this second movie.
Well, interestingly enough, and I think this is kind of telling in the fact that the next film after Avengers Infinity Wars is set in the 90s. And we're going to be exploring the Carol Danvers 90s saga with Hallie Atwell as the head of S.H.I.E.L.D.
And we're getting
a lot of little...
And Jude Law.
And Jude Law as Captain Marvel.
Told you.
And that's fine.
Told you he was important. Charlie, I remember you months ago. Who cares about Marvel? Nobody cared about Marvel. That's why they killed him.
Nobody cares about Marvel.
In your face.
Nobody cares. You know, he is. You know who Marvel is?
I do. Do you?
Who's the guy who gave Hal Jordan his ring?
Abin Sur.
Abin Sur. He is the Abin Sur of Marvel Comics. He exists.
Abin Sur never had his own solo ongoing series for like 62 issues.
Yeah, and then they gave him cancer. So 62 issues, dude. That's like a year and a half.
Barry Allen
that's a year and a half. Oh no, I'm sorry. No, that's actually a couple years. Sorry. I'm thinking comic books come out every week.
They also killed off Barry Allen for like 25 years, and I'll be damned if you talk bad about Barry Allen.
Yeah. No, and it's fair, and honestly, yeah, we can all be honest here. You know, they did not give Captain Marvel her own book until there was another There were two other Captain Marvels before Captain Marvel got to be Captain Marvel. So,
that's how it goes.
You mean Captain Marvel?
Yeah,
there's only one Captain Marvel, and he's the big red cheese.
There we go.
Like you didn't care about DC anymore, Lilith.
That's the one thing I do care about, and it makes me angry.
Lilith smash.
And that's Fawcett, not DC. Let's not forget.
DC now.
Yeah, it's DC now, but back in the good old days with Charleston Comics and Fawcett, even though I was not even a twinkle, my mom wasn't even a twinkle in my grandma's eye. So, yeah, long time ago.
Yeah. Well, here's what I'm going to say. As far as what are we talking about again?
Infinity War trailer and the hopes
and Captain Marvel. There we go. Okay, yeah. No, the whole other Marvels, the whole Marvel family kind of threw me off there. So here's the thing. As far as Captain Marvel goes, I'm sure he's in there. They have to have a male to confirm with everyone that no one's a lesbian in this movie.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. You have to do things the way they are. Oh, Gewalt. He's going to be there, but I don't think he's going to be that important. I think Jude Law is in there. I guarantee you he's dead by the end of it.
Steve Trevor, we can believe in. Woo!
Yeah. Hopefully, not for nothing. Here's what I'll tell you about
gas.
Here's what I'm going to tell you about Captain. You want to know what the Captain? Watch the watch the Avengers cartoon and their introduction of Captain Marvel, and see how that plays out. And it's like, okay, I'm here for 2 episodes. Bye.
Charlie's getting sexually harassed.
No, it's my phone. I told I didn't know our conversation would run until 9. I thought it would be run. I thought it was a 5-minute conversation. Okay, and yeah, it ran a little long, and I was supposed to pick someone up after I'm done because I have to bring her charger. Oh, and that's that. So yeah, this is my story. If you and Lilith want to talk without me for the Escapes and Lunatics episode, you can, and I can go help my friend. But
It's up to you.
yeah, I know.
We can
That's
talk
my
some
problem.
Crisis on Earth X.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, can I talk Batman comics for a couple minutes?
Yes.
Sure.
Let's get into the Batman comic.
Okay, so let's talk about Batman Annual 1, the only comic book I read this week. That's so sad. Tells the whole
Why'd you
story.
pick it up?
Well, I
You
didn't.
don't usually
I
read
read
Batman.
Lilith.
I borrowed a copy.
Phil let me borrow his copy.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, so I borrowed Phil's copy, and it was so sad. And even though I don't understand, I mean, here's what I'm going to say: a cat would actually leave a dead mouse, not a live mouse. And I thought that would have been funny but I guess maybe that would have been a little too dark, and a little too threatening, I guess. If she was leaving the live mice, and it's a beautiful story, and it is very sad at the end. I don't want to spoil it, but I actually wanted to read it because a friend of mine, who is a very good artist, by the name of Rick Welch. He is, he does freelance, and he actually does art direction for magazines. He's actually a really awesome guy. But he had said that it was like the first comic in a while that made him cry at the end. I was like, well, how much could this comic really be? And man, it made me cry because they love each other, and then someone dies, and it's like, oh man, that was a sad story.
But predictable,
but good. Just because you see it coming doesn't mean it's not good. And that's my take on that. And the other thing I actually wanted to talk about was Batman White Knight.
okay.
Because I just read a synopsis of it, which was completely different from every synopsis I had read. It was like, oh, well, that sounds like an interesting story. And apparently what the plotline isn't what if Batman were the Joker and the Joker were Batman. The actual plotline of it is, what if the Joker actually got cured and Batman couldn't handle it? And suddenly it's like, oh, that's an interesting story. Why didn't you tell me that was the story? Because that's a story I would have actually really liked to read. Because the idea of the Joker being cured and then actually being a force for goodness or decency, and Batman being honestly a mentally unstable person who couldn't handle the fact that his main villain now was trying to be a decent human being, that is a fascinating dynamic. And I was upset to find out that that's what this story was about. I thought it was like a weird Elseworld where, like, oh no, the Joker was the good guy. And yes, it is a weird Elsewhere where the Joker winds up the good guy, but it starts out as a what if. What if the Joker got cured? And how would that affect Batman? And that is an interesting story. Unfortunately, Marvel has what if. If it had been called what if the Joker were cured, that would have been a book I might have picked up.
Whatever happened to the cured Joker?
Yeah, but I've always thought that the idea of the Joker actually dealing with sanity would be a really fascinating story. I've actually had an idea for a story I always wanted to write about a prison experiment where they sort of a reverse of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, where they take a guy who's already Mr. Hyde and turn him into Dr. Jekyll, and how that affects the person, how having to deal with the pain of conscience, when you take a sociopath and give them a conscience, how much that might affect them and how they might react. I thought that's a very fascinating story. So I would have loved to have read that had I known that's what the story was going to be. But instead they marketed it in a completely different way. And so you do what you do. So that was my take. Batman Annual 1 is a very good book, made me cry. And I hope Batman White Knight is as good of a book as it sounds, because it sounds like it's really great. And now they're doing this new Batman, what's it called? Batman Creature of the Night, which is like, what if a kid who liked Batman actually had his parents murdered? Although maybe that's not what it is, and it's going to be in like six weeks in, I'm going to say, oh, well, actually, this is what it's about. It's like, oh, well, that's actually an interesting story. Why didn't you say that from the start?
Because they don't trust people with the full story because they want to be sensational.
Who doesn't trust people with the full story? Who doesn't trust people with good stories, Lilith?
DC, all day, every day.
DC doesn't. This is the thing. It's DC doesn't trust people.
Phil and I spent numerous occasions when we did World's Finest talking about, I don't need to be spoon-fed. I'm not a 3-year-old. So
yeah, I mean, and not for nothing, you know, my kids, I mean, they're not 3-year-olds anymore, but they don't need to be spoon-fed either. They can understand nuance and complexity in a story. You know, everyone, you know, people will say, oh, well, it's for kids, and so you want to spoon-feed them. It's like, no. You know what? The only people who need to be spoon-fed are kids that can't hold spoons. Which, by the time you're 3, you can actually hold your own spoon. You can spoon-feed yourself. It's like, it's okay. I figured it out. Say, num, num, num. I know where the mouth is.
Spoon-fed, but mess everywhere.
No, 3-year-olds only make the mess when they want to make the mess because it's fun to make a mess. Honestly, the mess when you're a 3-year-old is more, what is the large person's reaction going to be? I wonder. Let's see. It's on the floor. Oh, they're having quite the fit. Let's see if that continues to happen each time I do it. Oh.
Then they turn 4 and all they want to talk about is poop.
Yeah, well, it's a very important part of
God,
life.
I'm glad I don't have kids.
No,
poop and mess.
yeah. No, you just have things that poop.
They go outside, and my boyfriend cleans it up. So
yes, but you know what?
She makes him go outside to do it too.
If they could talk, they would be telling you all about their poop.
Probably, I guarantee.
Probably, yes. Dogs are basically humans, but are stuck at that 2-3-year-old level. So they can reason, they can think, but it's all limited to that point of, did you know I pooped today? I had the biggest poop. I like pooping.
Oh.
That's what Freud said,
Yeah, pretty much.
The first stage, man.
Is there anything else you want to touch on before we let you take your leave, sir?
Haven't seen Justice League, so can't really talk about that, except I'm excited for what happens next with Justice League. I'm hoping they are going to build out their villain universe, because
you're the one.
The villains are always more interesting in the DC universe. What the DC finally learned is what if we just made our universe about the villains fighting the heroes?
You know what he's hinting at, DC? He wants Grundy.
No, actually, I was going to go for Captain Cold. And the idea of, the guys who are kind of on the outskirts of life and maybe don't feel like they always had every choice that they could have had.
Watch The Flash.
I will, but I think that's the point, is that the rogues are the point. And I think the rogues and the villains are the point. And I think that is where DC can build their expanded universe as a back door, because they've got these heroes, they've got their larger-than-life heroes, but the most interesting characters the heroes have are who they fight. And don't tell me, Lilith, you would not be fascinated when they do the Aquaman story to really get into the backstory of Black Manta.
Nope, been there, done that. Don't need. I'd rather have Ocean Master than Black Manta.
Okay, then Ocean Master it is. Whoever the person is, don't tell me that. Here's the thing, is that Arthur Curry, King of Atlantis.
Although I'm going to say that Aquaman's villains are the weakest.
Okay,
out of all the heroes.
But the idea that he's the King of Atlantis. What's the story you're going to tell? Wonder Woman, she's a wonderful woman. What's the story you're going to tell? Superman, he's a Superman. What's the story you're going to tell? The stories you tell are with the people who, for whatever cockamamie reason, are saying, I'm going to fight this person who is an icon. Because I got my own axe to grind, just like every person in the world has an axe to grind. And I think building out that villains universe,
and that's what they're doing. Well,
that DC
I don't know.
Dark.
Deathstroke's not a villain though. He's an anti-hero, so.
Well, he's a mercenary. That doesn't make it, being a mercenary doesn't make you an anti-hero. It just makes you a hero when the good guys pay you enough.
Capitalism.
Well, no, I'm saying that to differentiate him from the A-Team. Because the A-Team were mercenaries, but they wouldn't take your job if they didn't agree with your point of order. They didn't rough people up just to make money. They made money by roughing people up, but only if they were people that were worth roughing other people up for. So that's my take. I'm going to let you guys go because I do got to take care of stuff and whatnot. And I did get to say everything I did. I haven't watched Earth X yet. I only saw the last of it. Yeah, I saw the only one that mattered. The one that was the Legends of Tomorrow.
You shut your mouth!
Legends of Tomorrow are the only ones that are cool. They're awesome, and all you other guys are bad. And although I will say I liked it. I did like what I saw because I saw a bit of the Flash and I saw bits of it, but the only one I really watched was Legends, and I was kind of lost when I was watching it. I don't even know what Earth everyone got married on. I really don't. Was it Earth 1? Was it Earth 2? Was it Earth X? I don't know. It was they got married somewhere, and I don't no idea if there was any legality to any of those marriages. But
when you get back, you can feel free to watch it on YouTube because we will talk.
I will watch it, and we can discuss it more next week. But I didn't see it. I was sad by many aspects. I was excited by other aspects, and you guys can talk about that. And I will see you all next week. And in the meantime, write to me at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, @gmail.com. And follow me on Twitter when I tweet things, which I never do anymore. At Charlie Esser, that's CharlieEsser. Look for the two E's in the middle for quality, which is why I don't tweet so much, because I should only tweet when it is of the highest quality.
Oh, yes.
Good night.
Good night.
Have fun holding your spoon. Oh, never mind.
What other books did you want to talk about? I read Green Arrow Annual #1.
Got it.
And Aquaman Annual #1 and New Talent Showcase #2.
I didn't get that one. Was that any good?
I like the first one better. This one seemed kind of bogged down in a concept they couldn't quite get off the ground.
Did you get the last issue of Renato Jones season 2?
I did.
I hope
it's a shame it doesn't get published more frequently. Like I believe in the quality versus quantity though, and for sure that's what
he's a busy
about.
man too. I mean, I think he's working in TV and stuff. So
yeah, I can't wait to eventually get to interview. Got a lot of questions.
That's why you need to subscribe to our YouTube.
Creators Corner. Come get you some. Yeah.
Oh wait, I don't know if I'm getting the next one, but did you get the Black Lightning Cold Dead Hands #1? Mm-hmm. It was all right. I don't know if I'm picking up the next one.
Oh my god, could that promo for Black Lightning have been any more lame during the crossovers? It's like a vague idea of what the show might be about. Some older black gentleman in a really ridiculous costume and cool shades. Really? Is this Blade? Blade? Oh, it's a mess. Like, I was excited for the show at first, and then the more that I thought about it, I was just like, if it wasn't on the CW, I'd be so hyped.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not connected to the Arrowverse, so it's just like, well, yet. So I'm just like, I don't know, man. I'm getting nervous. So anyway, yeah. What did you think about? Did you get Green Arrow and Green?
The annual, yeah.
Aquaman, yeah.
Yeah, I got them both, yeah. This is the Green Arrow one was the one that was delayed, right?
Yeah.
Do we know why?
No, probably growing pains. Something's going down. Something is going down with the Green Arrow brand in general.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't quite put my finger on what it is, but it's the best $5 I spent all week, and that's including those rolled chicken tacos from Taco Bell. This podcast is not sponsored by Taco Bell, but maybe you need to sponsor us, Taco Bell.
And of course, your favorite Aquaman. What did you think?
I like Green Arrow more than I liked Aquaman. Aquaman's kind of dragging his story. It is, I don't know. Like, I can't.
Yeah, it's like, when was this? Did this take place at the beginning of Rebirth? Is that kind of what they were hinting at?
Okay, I'm not crazy. Yeah, and I don't care about Crown Spire. I don't care about Merc.
It was just.
I don't care about anything.
I mean, spoiler alert, it was basically just another Black Mercy story.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
But I like that Aquaman has a dream, but it's never going to come to fruition because humans suck. And the sooner they learn that, the better everybody will be.
Ask Martin Luther King.
Humans suck in their own special, unique way. Just like families are unhappy in their each individual unique way. Sorry, pessimism is not attractive. I know.
If you can tone down the cheeriness, should we get to the crossover?
Yes, let's talk about this crossover. So let's go in chronological order. So we'll start with Supergirl,
which was actually a full part of the crossover this year.
I know. I didn't like the way this episode started. The crossover in general is set a really crappy tone where Oliver's trying to fight ninjas for some reason, and they're worried about RSVPing. So Iris and Felicity are completely the Wonder Twins now, and I can't stand either of them. I mean, Iris has been insufferable this season. Like, I've been trying to stand up for her. She's a self-rescuing princess. She has every opportunity to be BAMF, and they have just thrown it away. She is completely Felicity's Wonder Twin now, and I disown her.
I mean, not to skip ahead, but I mean, they're taking out Nazis left and right in Star Labs.
For Iris, it makes sense. She has a good right hook and some weapons training, I'm assuming.
But I'm like, Felicity, really?
Well, and she didn't have a tablet in her hand when she did it, so it totally wasn't believable.
Mother.
Yeah. Felicity took center stage way too much in her crossover about actual superheroes.
Mm-hmm.
She is tech support. I'm sorry. She's tech support with no superpowers. Cisco is tech support, and he has superpowers, and he got relegated to the damn metahuman prison pipeline.
Well, he got taken out in like the first episode, then he wasn't back till the third one. It's like
the people I actually care about. Thanks.
Take Felicity out for an episode or two.
Or 4. The wedding, you knew it was gonna happen. It was very Lois and Clark.
Which one? There was 2.
The TV show.
No, I meant Barry and Iris and Oliver and Felicity.
No one cares about Oliver and Felicity, Phil. Nobody. Reddit, I just want to say shout out to Reddit for being Reddit on the Arrow sub, because this is the second time we have decided to become a Marvel-based subreddit in rebellion of the direction of the TV show. We made it to Forbes magazine, baby.
Oh, jeez.
And comicbook.com wrote about it too. The first time it was season 4's direction that they changed it to the Daredevil subreddit, and now they changed it to the Punisher subreddit. How very apropos, by the way. It's just like a lot of people are very like the crossover was good until a certain point. Like, it was too much relationship drama for a crossover about Nazis trying to take over our Earth.
Well, I mean, I think they even mentioned that it was gonna be heavy on romance, and with the double wedding, and then I refused to believe the wedding. I thought the wedding was a hoax up until about 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm. I was just like, well, there's a funeral, and I knew that Victor Gerber was leaving to do Broadway, but there was an image of the gravestone floating around with Felicity's name on it. I was like, too good to be true. I already know that's a lie. I mean, with Laurel's, I knew it was Laurel right away. It says Samantha, but I know it's Laurel because nobody cares about Samantha. Nobody even cares about her now that she's actually really dead now. So
I figured once they, if there was a death, it was going to be Victor Garber.
Yeah, because he was leaving. And I was really surprised that they actually didn't let Jax become his own superhero.
Well,
So we're losing. I think we are losing Firestorm completely.
You think so?
I think so. They're making room on the team for somebody, but I don't know who.
Oh, well, I think in the preview for next week, which is, the first part of the Constantine thing, I think it's next week. They said something like, I think somebody runs into Stein's younger. So I wonder if they can keep Firestorm going with the younger Stein. I don't know.
Like, I feel like it would, like, I don't want to see an actor lose work or anything. And I actually like the actor that plays Jax. He did a really great, phenomenal job with his emotions, expressing how Stein was a father to him and all those things. And I would actually really just love to just see maybe an update from them. Like, he's actually living with his family and he's a part of it because, he didn't have anything. And so a part of Stein lives through him. And so he stays with his family and his grandson and stuff. So I would like to see that for Jax. That's that's a happy ending that a hero deserves. You know what I mean? Heroes don't get happy endings if you stay in the game long enough. So
did Stein's death make you cry?
It didn't make me cry because
you are heartless.
No, they shortchanged it. Like, I love Victor Gerber. I've loved him since Alias, and I remember I was watching one of the Legends episodes, and he was singing Edelweiss, and from Sound of Music. In case you're not like a nerd like me, I thought that they would for sure have like the theme of that running through the end of the episode. I think that they should have ended it on the Legends with Sarah and Meg, where he asked her, "Did you hit that?" I think that should have been done. Because it was the Legends episode. There was this big, huge impact for their team. And what the hell do they cut to? Velocity.
That's what I was surprised about, that both couples.
But we all knew that wedding was going to be in the very last episode.
Yeah, I know, but Legend, that's just so weird. I mean, unless they were really trying to bump up the ratings on that thing.
Yeah, that's exactly why they did it. And it's a shame. It really left a sour taste in a lot of people's mouths. Like, some people only watch Legends. And to end it on a West Allen Velocity wedding, no, there's tons of people that are Legends only or Flash only that don't care about Supergirl or Arrow. So,
one thing that's another happy thing that they want for this crossover is they're hoping they're exposing people to all the characters, so maybe they'll get the ratings up on everything.
I'm just gonna be real. Like, I caught up on Legends for this season, and it's good. It's fun. I agree with Charlie that they've embraced themselves. And honestly, between you and I, it is the best Arrowverse show right now. I mean, I've only seen like half an episode of Supergirl, and I still feel like it's very lacking. It's not anything that I would want for a female superhero. Like, I love Melissa Benoist. Like, she's just like a live action like puppy as a human. But that show has so many things working against it that it's tough to get through. I don't know how. I mean, if you like it, you like it. But for me, you're not going to go in the vein of like Wonder Woman and actually be like feminist AF. Like, you have to have hashtag feminism in all your episodes. Maybe now that Andrew Kressberg is gone and they actually like bring in like a real, I don't know, get like a better like crew of females to write, maybe it can turn itself around. But I really feel like that's what's been lacking in the Arrow universe, is their whole conception of women. Because the pilot, I said it when we did the Girls Night review for the show, is that she's just Felicity with superpowers.
Oh, I mean, look at the two of them standing together. They almost look like twins.
Yeah, so not for nothing. It just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I'm glad that they fixed the relationship with their sister, because that was a thing that bothered me too. It just needs more Dean Cain. Like, I'm just gonna be honest. They just need more Dean Cain. Once they fix that, then maybe I'll come into the fold. But anyway, sorry. Rant.
Were you satisfied with the Arrow part of it? I mean,
no, it was the weakest. It was the weakest episode.
How about the Green Arrow characters? They gave Stephen Amell a lot to do.
And God bless him. Finally, Stephen gets to choose some scenery. And we got, okay, so I feel like this was a shout out to Reddit. Like, we are very facetious, and we always said Supergirl and Arrow need to be together. And what happens in this crossover? It's like, yeah, they're nasties, but they're still together.
I love Supergirl. She's like, ew, sorry.
You know you want it. Don't just because. Everybody wants Oliver. Iris wants Oliver. Come on.
I'll pass.
So yeah, I did think that the Arrow episode was the weakest of the crossovers, unfortunately.
We got Tom Cavanaugh back as the man in the yellow suit.
I hated that. It's like blah 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 time travel. I'm like, didn't we just kill you? It's just like Damien Dark on Legends. I was like, didn't we just freaking get rid of you?
And it's like, what's with the face thing? It's like, pick an actor and stay with it.
Well, they probably can get Matt.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Which I heard that he absolutely loves to chew the scenery as that character. So that really came as a surprise. But then again, you have to pay like a different, I don't know, because Tom Cavanaugh is there. Lucifer on the brain. Tom's there and he actually loves that version of the character the most. So,
It's and my biggest problem with the crossover, why did Barry let him go?
Because he wants to be a better person. He's learned from his lessons.
Okay, you don't have to kill him, but why can't you knock him out and not lock him up in Star Labs or something?
He created Star Labs, though. He would get out.
Okay, well, have Argus lock him up or something.
Yeah, I agree. Something. Anything's better than what happened.
Instead of just go about your way.
So that means he's going to be back next season, right? But I do understand why they didn't want the evil version of Barry, because we just got that with Savitar in the last season of Flash. So I totally understand why they didn't want to go that route. And it's more psychological warfare too. Do you know what I mean? He's wearing the face of, the guy that killed his mom. And
yeah, I had no problem with it being Eobard Thawne again, but it's just like, why did Barry let him go? The guy, who's time traveled, killed your mother, can vibrate through walls. You're married now. Who's going to say he's not going to come back, kill Iris tomorrow?
Yeah, I was really enjoying this season of Flash because I really feel like they have embraced who actual Barry Allen is, as opposed to Wally, which is what he has been playing for like the first 2.5 seasons, was the Wally West from the comics, the ginger version. So you have to make that distinction now. So I'm really glad that they have, because Barry Allen is my favorite Flash next to Jay. Like my modern day Flash, even though he was gone forever, I love everything about Barry, that he chose to be a hero, even without his powers. He, the whole thing. And he was actually living up to it till that stupid moment.
And speaking of Wally, they bring him back for the wedding and then he's out by like the first episode. What's up with that?
Why was Mick there and not Ray? Ray has more of a connection.
Exactly. Mick was Barry's one of his rogues. Why is he there, not Ray? Comic relief, but
yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Mick was my spirit animal. He is exactly me at a wedding. I love it. Free booze, an open bar, and free food. Yes. Here for it all.
Legs.
Who has crab legs at their wedding though? It's like, you fancy, like on Joe's salary. Oh well, I guess Barry paid for it because he's a billionaire secretly. He owns all the patents for Star Labs, so
maybe that was
not have crab.
Maybe Oliver gave him some money. That been part of his gift.
No, he's been lending Oliver money. Are you serious? Come on! All the gadgets Cisco comes up with on a weekly basis.
Felicity's thrown out $500,000 left and right.
Well, that was investor money. Like, who the hell is investing in Fullet? Don't even get me. And okay, so yeah, it was a big disconnect. This is why I feel like the Arrow parts of the crossover, because there's a big disconnect. All of a sudden, Oliver's fighting ninjas like nothing matters. It's like, aren't you still on the watch list for the FBI?
Well, we didn't even say he was taking over for Diggle until Diggle.
But the FBI is still watching you specifically.
Yeah, but it's a crossover. We don't go there in a crossover.
Yeah, we really don't. Things go out the window. Hi, Danielle. Sorry. We'll wrap it up. Flash this episode.
It was all right. I mean, you couldn't hardly tell it was a Flash episode, though. I mean, there was no Joe, there was no Wally. I mean, we got Quentin Lance as the evil Nazi warden.
Yeah. No bueno for me on that one. Sarah and Alex, they hooked up. And it's like, okay, yes, they're both lesbians, but lesbians don't magically go into heat when they meet each other. I'm sorry.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, just because they were the lesbians there, they had to hook up.
Like, and well, that's versus the other gay relationship that they display between the Ray and
Citizen
Leo.
Cold. Yeah.
Yes. So it's weird that, Ray obviously is doing the animated TV show, but it's like, okay, Why is Snart staying on Earth 1? I don't understand. Is he really secretly the real Captain Cold?
I don't think, but are they going to have him on Legends or anything?
I thought that he said the actor said he was done with Legends.
That's what I thought. So I'm like, why is he staying on Earth 1 if they're done with the thing?
Maybe they offered him some more money.
Cha-ching.
Yeah.
Maybe so they can have that, the interplay between a different Cold and Mick.
Died saving cops.
I died saving pigs.
On no earth would he do that. I don't care. What else can I touch on? Yeah, the marriage license. I totally agree. You need a marriage license to be married officially. And I guess they're gonna rectify that on Arrow next week.
Yeah, it looks like they're having a big party or something.
It looks like the reception.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess they're gonna gloss over the fact that they're not really married.
Well, I mean, they can come up with the paper later. Were you happy that it was Diggle who did both?
No, I hated it.
No,
hated it. I hated it since I've seen that spoiler picture. Because he did. The minute that Felicity came on the show, took something away from that character that we never got back. And then after Laurel dies, he becomes the most ridiculous Velocity cheerleader. It makes me want to vomit. Sorry.
I mean, it sounds like we have problems with this, but I like the crossover better than I like the Justice League movie.
Yes.
Although that's not
even
hard.
with the Velocity wedding, yes.
Like you said, that's a low bar, but still.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, and I like last year's crossover way better. But I did like Supergirl where she said Dominators was so last year. I was like, get it, girl. Make that meta reference. Break that fourth wall. So.
Oh, I know what we didn't talk about. The identity of the Earth X Prometheus.
Tommy freaking Merlin.
The way it should have been last season on Earth 1.
Seriously. It was so great of Colin to come back. I do think that it was a hack idea because they grab way too many things from the fans. It's like, get your own ideas.
Because I think Stephen Amell on Twitter, he was even saying, Colin hopped on a plane from his other job, filmed his scenes, and flew right back.
Yeah. It was really great of Colin to do. It was great to see him, but it's like too much fan service in this show. It's like, okay, you have to be your own person. I know the praise on Twitter is great, but I feel like if you're a creator of any kind and you're still in the process of creating your baby, you need to not focus on anything else. And all this fan service is slipped into the show. And Velocity, I'm sorry, it has really ruined the show. And that is what has really burned my goose about this TV show. I don't know. Maybe when I'm in the executive producer of my own TV show, maybe I will be on Twitter and Tumblr asking questions, basking in the nerdiness of it all. But I don't think I would. I would specifically kind of stay away from that so that I can focus on my own vision.
All right. So which team do you think came off better? Team Flash, Team Arrow, or the Legends?
Legends. Oh my God. They had so many great moments through the whole thing. Everybody got a chance to shine on the Legends. They got really great interactions with people they normally don't react with. The one thing I was disappointed with was we didn't get to see Sarah with the woman that has her sister's mantle.
Mm-hmm.
And her and Oliver act like they don't know each other. We're supposed to pretend like we didn't spend all of season 2 and some of 3 with Oliver and Sarah having this history now. I mean, I'm just saying.
I know.
And she didn't really even react to Tommy Merlin. It's like, you are Laurel's little sister. You grew up with Tommy. And it's just, oh, it's Tommy Merlin. And where the hell was Thea? Okay, last rant. Where the hell was Thea? Babysitting William, I guess.
Did she get out of the hospital yet? I mean, she spent, what, a couple months in a coma?
If Oliver can survive on penicillin T and the will to live, she can be just fine 2 days later out of a coma. Okay. A whole week later, as a matter of fact.
Like I said, we didn't get Wally for more than one episode, so.
Sham. Just a sham.
And we better get that scene of him fighting Starro.
Oh, and one more thing. Did you know who the voice of the Nazi Wave Rider was?
No, who?
It was Susanna Thompson, aka Moira Queen.
No.
Yes.
The Board Queen.
Board Queen. Yes, exactly. Nice
No.
touch, right?
Nice.
It was a lot of fun Easter eggs. I'm actually really hyped for the Ray animated show, but of course, I'm more hyped for Constantine.
Mm-hmm.
But anything with content for us to talk about here on Capes and Lunatics?
Are we gonna actually have to review an 2 episodes of Legends for Newcastle Crew?
We are. I can't wait. I can't wait to actually have a reason to live tweet Legends. Like I said, I like the show, but I have to binge it. So I have to let it build and then binge. I can't do the week to week for Legends. Are you watching it week to week?
Yeah.
Was it weird not having anything on Thursday? Was it just me?
Yeah, it was.
I was just like, oh, no Arrow on Thursday.
Especially when Arrow was on Thanksgiving, but not this Thursday.
It's just like...
Well, the Orville was on.
True.
Like the last one of the season, they only did 10.
That's saving up budget for next season, probably. They'll probably have 13 and then move to 18 and then burn it out on 22 because that's just what Fox does. They have no self-restraint.
Oh, and Gotham was on.
Sorry.
I don't know. I don't worry about me. I mean, I'm watching it, but I'm not like, oh no, it's the greatest show ever.
To be honest, the only reason why I even watched the first part of Supergirl, the crossover, is because The Gifted wasn't on. And I tweeted as much too. I was just like, well, had Gifted been new this week, I don't know that I would have been tweeting this episode.
Well, yeah, did you see what I tweeted out? I said, yeah, The Gifted can't be on tonight because the crossover took all their X's for their commercial.
A mess. But no, overall, we give it a B+.
Sounds about right, yeah.
But Nazis, why did it have to be Nazis? That's the only question that I can, especially in the climate that we're in right now. I really do feel like it was a poor choice of villain. So,
I mean, last year was aliens. This year it's Nazi. I think they just go for like a big.
Well, at least Dominators was based in the comics, you know,
Yeah.
kind of, sort of loosely.
Well, Earth X is kind of, sort of too.
Kind of, sort of too. And so, were we not supposed to talk about those red skies or on Earth X or
pollution, or is it part of the crisis?
Yeah, like I was really confused about that. And like everybody died. Supergirl, Supernova, Oliver, Evil Fuhrer is dead. And Oliver killed somebody again.
Mm-hmm. Well, himself.
Well, they should have pulled a Matt Murdock. Like, well, I had a doppelganger running around.
That's what I said. For the FBI, I'd be like, drop the body on her desk. Be like, hey, you thought Oliver Queen was the Arrow? It was this guy.
Dude, seriously, they don't think. I mean, unless he's going to Supermax, and that's the big twist, because I would be so hyped for Escape from Supermax for like the first 4 episodes of season 7. We have Deathstroke teaming up. They're getting a season. They're dragging this out to Smallville levels, baby. I have no doubt in my mind.
Well, I forgot where I heard it, but you know what the theory I heard is William's getting kidnapped before the end of the season because Slade is. Well, Slade dropped to his son that Oliver has a kid now.
Yeah, of course he is.
So guess what?
And Felicity's gonna save him.
Joe's gonna come back and kidnap William.
I don't think it's gonna be Joe. I think it's gonna be Grant. I think he lied. I think he knows where Grant is. I think this is what starts that weird Arrowverse from Legends. Star City 2046. I think Diggle might die this season. There's nowhere left for this character to go.
I was wondering if they were going to do something like that, you know, with his nerve damage getting more.
I like that they did bring up the fact that, hey, Felicity literally has a chip that helps her walk. Why aren't we helping him? And suddenly it doesn't work for him.
What did you think last week of Curtis and did you see Curtis and Felicity?
Oh, Curtis gave her the smackdown, and then she got, you don't have to ask me anything. I'm like, yes, somebody put her in her place. That is the biggest Mary Sue I've ever, like, people call Jean Grey a Mary Sue. You need to look up Felicity Smoke. Synonym, Mary Sue, all day, every day. You leave my Jean Grey alone, and you read her book. Because you can never have enough X-Men teams running around in the Marvel universe. I agree with that. I agree with that business model.
We're 20 versions of the same character.
I mean, we're doing it on Flash anyway. So, with that said, shameless plugs.
All right. Well, if you want to talk to any of the Capes of Lunatics about any of our various stuff, Marvel, DC, Archie, the top secret past of Charlie Esser, you can write to us, capesandlunatics@gmail.com. Our voicemail was 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. We're on Facebook, on Twitter @CapesLunatics. And if you want to do an interview, anybody from comic books, TV, movies, get a hold of me, NightwingPDP@gmail.com. And on Twitter, I am @NightwingPDP. And Lilith?
You guys can find me live tweeting The Gifted every Monday. Sorry, Supergirl. At 8 p.m. At Little Hellfire for everything else at Adventures in FG. That's Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, and Twitter. And please be sure to check out my website, Adventures in Fangirling. And we do want to remind you to visit the mothership, SouthgateMediaGroup.com, where you can find blogs and affiliate links to help keep this network afloat, the lights on, and the bandwidth going.
And visit us on YouTube and subscribe, and visit our podcast and subscribe.
Found everywhere where podcasts are available, except for Spotify. We're waiting on approval.
So we're done pimping
Chimichanga time.
Wrong
Oh, wait,
show.
wrong podcast.
This has been all right. Thank you for joining us. For this week, this has been the Capes and
The Lunatics. Really, that just needs to be singular. Let's just be honest. I'm the lunatic. We all know it.
I don't know. That Charlie Esser gets out of hand sometimes. Thank you for joining us on this special Crisis crossover to Infinity War.
No, it's Capes After Dark. Always. Anytime we have to do
No, that's coming soon.
it. Okay.
That's right. You want to hear Charlie Esser swear in German? Oh, wait, there's no swear. Stay tuned. You know what the hell we're talking about.